Alright, so you're posting YouTube videos, but none of your videos are getting to the YouTube algorithm. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I get my videos into the YouTube algorithm as a small YouTuber. So keep watching the rest of this video to learn how I do it and how you can do it as well. So the first thing I'm going to go over is one, target specific keywords. So when it comes to targeting specific keywords, I am talking about really specific keywords. All right, so usually when people start YouTube channels, they usually start with a niche. I want to go do a sports channel, I want to do a celebrities channel, maybe TV shows, maybe a tech channel. But how can you be more specific? You have to understand that when it comes to YouTube, YouTube is a search engine, it's owned by Google, and at the same time, people usually aren't typing those general keywords. People usually aren't just typing sports, they're usually typing a more specific type of sport like basketball. People usually aren't just typing celebrities. Maybe they're targeting a specific type of celebrity, maybe rap celebrities. TV shows can be more specific if you talk about Netflix, and tech can be more specific if you talk about space. So when it comes to making my channels and teaching my Patreon members or course members or students, it more so comes down to how can I even be more specific within my niche so that if I'm not able to dominate the word sports, if I'm not able to dominate the word basketball, maybe I can go even more specific and dominate the word Stephen Curry. So again, another example, I don't think I'm ever going to rank for the word celebrities. There's a lot of celebrities videos out there. I don't think I'm going to rank for the word rap, but I think I can rank for the word Rihanna. So do you see how targeting specific keywords goes in a hierarchy, and that the more specific you go, the easier or the less the competition is. But I'd rather dominate more specific keywords like these last four here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd rather dominate these keywords than just be lost in a flood of these general keywords here. So, when you create your channel, you can still say, yeah, my channel is a sports channel, but within your sports channel, just target more specific keywords. So how does this tie into the YouTube algorithm? If you're targeting specific keywords, you are targeting words that people are searching for on YouTube, and you're satisfying one of the main reasons why people use YouTube, which is to search for content. It's a search engine. So that is tip number one. Now, tip number two is creating longer videos. But the key thing here is that you do not want to stuff your videos with just fluff. Now, I'm not saying, have 3 minutes of valuable content and then just let your camera record or your video just play out random clips for the next 20 minutes. That's not what I'm saying. Create longer videos, right? And I'm going to go over the math regarding why this works. But an average view duration on YouTube, based on my experience, is about 30%. Anything lower than that, I consider low. Anything above that, that's good. The more the better. But understand the concept of how average viewer duration relates to a length of a video, and then the ultimate metric that YouTube keeps track of is how many watch minutes did that video bring in. So here we have 30% of an 8-minute long video will always be less than 30% of a 10-minute long video. Is that not true? So if you make your video 8 minutes versus 10 minutes and the average view duration is 30%, this is assuming that no other variables are in place other than the length of the video, and that you're not stuffing your video with just useless content. 30% of an 8-minute long video will always be less than 30% of a 10-minute long video. So it makes sense to make your videos longer. Make it 10 minutes rather than 8 minutes. But the same concept applies. 30% of a 10-minute long video will always be less than 30% of a 20-minute long video. Make your videos longer if they can be longer. But again, do not stuff your videos with fluff. So how does this tie into getting into the YouTube algorithm? So YouTube algorithm, one of the main metrics that it tracks is that it tracks watch hours. And so again, if average view duration is 30%, does it not make sense that YouTube could recognize that this 8-minute long video, I think 30% of 8 minutes is like what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds maybe? But 30% of a 10-minute long video is 3 minutes. So YouTube will recognize that this video is bringing in more watch time. Let's promote this video more. And this works like a charm, especially when it comes to longer videos that I've noticed that I've been posting. longer videos perform very well, and that's also why you're going to see that when you search on Google or you search on YouTube, the top 10 search results are usually going to be longer videos. Now, the third tip I want to go over is create good titles and thumbnails. Now, people usually know this. It's one of the cardinal rules of YouTube, and it's not something that you don't know, but you just have to actually do it. It's one thing to know it, but it's another thing if you're not actually creating good titles and thumbnails that get a good click-through rate. So title plus thumbnail equals the CTR, or click-through rate. An average click-through rate according to YouTube is about 3 to 7%. So if you make a thumbnail and title and you post your video and it comes down to a click-through rate of 4%, that's okay. That's the average across all videos on YouTube. However, why not aim higher? 10% click-through rate or higher. That's what I aim for, and it's 100% achievable. So how does this tie into getting into the algorithm? One of YouTube's main metrics that it keeps track of is click-through rate. It can recognize what your video's click-through rate is, and if your video is getting a 2% click-through rate, but another video is getting a 10% click-through rate, the assumption is that the video that's getting more clicks is bringing in more watch time, so therefore YouTube will promote that video over your video and put that video into the algorithm. So I hope that made sense, but I'm going to go over everything as a whole right now. So here's the equation into getting into the algorithm. Number one, searchable content, and that comes from targeting specific keywords, right? So one of the steps into getting into the algorithm is that you've got to create searchable content, and that it's a lot easier to create searchable content when we tie it back to here. You target more specific keywords. So the second part of the equation is a good click-through rate, which comes from a good title and thumbnail. So again, instead of aiming for the average, you definitely don't want to fall below the average. Aim higher than the average, which is over 10%. That's another part of the equation into getting into the algorithm. Now, the third part is a good average view duration, which comes from creating longer, high quality content. And just remember not to stuff your content. So tying back to the fact that, longer videos, if average view duration is 30%, you are going to obtain more watch hours with your longer content compared to your shorter content. So that's why I promote making your videos as long as they need to be, but just remember not to stuff your content. So with that being said, that's all I got for this video, everyone. This is how to get into the algorithm, especially as a small YouTuber. If you're watching up to this point, thanks so much for watching, and comment down any comments, questions, or concerns that you have, and I'd be more than happy to help. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.